This is Taking Stock on Bloomberg. I'm Pim Fox. Now, the challenge, finding new sources of energy within the United States. The country is rich with natural gas, and companies are trying to take advantage of the demand to expand their exploration using new technology. My guest, Nicholas Atencio, he's the chief executive of Mainland Resources, a natural gas exploration company. Good to have you with us on Taking Stock.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Explain a little bit for those that don't know about Mainland Resources. What is the business model? Because it's as much about acquiring acreage that is potentially going to bubble up with natural gas as it is to actually drill for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mainland Resources is a publicly traded company. We trade over-the-counter bulletin board. We're headquartered in the Woodlands, Texas. Our business model has been, and we started in 2008 by acquiring acreage in DeSoto Parish, Louisiana. Developed a very successful Haynesville field, and at the peak of the Haynesville value perception, we sold it and kept a lot of acreage above the Haynesville, which now underpins our market cap, our current market cap. We took that learning curve into Mississippi. We moved our perspective, we moved our business into Mississippi, and we've captured about 18,000 acres ahead of the curve in Mississippi.
Now, when you talk about ahead of the curve, and we were just talking during the break about how price, we talk about things that people use, whether it's gasoline or coffee or whatever it is. But talk a little bit about the increase in price of the acreage if you wanted to get into natural gas shale plays right now.
If it's a play that people are actually going in and drilling. We've seen this in the Marcellus. We've seen this in the Haynesville, particularly in the DeSoto area where we were in. We got in early. And that's part of keeping your cost basis down, and that's where we can work in this environment profitably. And in the ranges that we see the EIA forecasting over the next number of years, you get in early, you get in at fair prices. As soon as
what's a fair price, for example?
And it differs. It differs between different areas, but
sure.
we're looking, specifically in our case, in below 2,000 per acre. Sometimes you're 3 to 2,000. You start seeing when these plays start developing, $20,000 an acre. When you're looking at a 640-acre unit to have a permit to drill one well, you can do the numbers on it and see what your sunk cost is. For us, we got in early.
So it's a tenfold, typically sometimes a tenfold increase.
It could be up to that.
And is this activity being fueled by demand in terms of the sort of either consumer? We were just talking earlier with Frank Mitch of BB&T Capital talking about the chemical industry, the demand from industry. Why would these drillers continue to do this if we're talking about natural gas that's, under $5 per million BTU? We seem to be awash in natural gas.
You recall a lot with the timing. A lot of this was when natural gas was at $6 to $7 an MMBTU. Maybe the economics, and I can't speak to other companies' economics, maybe their economics made sense at $6, $7, and $8 per MMBTU. We can work in that environment over to $5. That's when we get ahead of the curve. We have low sunk costs. We have the asset that we can work in that environment. We switch that to Mississippi, and we learn from our past. We pick up a lot more acreage here. We have a really exciting play in Mississippi, about 18,000 acres. It's a test to 22,000 feet. And I need to put that in context because we're drilling now at about 21,700 feet, and it will be probably one of the top 10 deepest wells drilled in the United States.
And this takes a while to drill. I mean, this is started 2-3 years ago, right?
Of course we did our due diligence as far as the technical due diligence, understanding this is the right geologic environment. But no, we started drilling in June.
In June.
In June, we'll be at total depth within approximately 160 days.
Now, what about the environmental issues having to do with shale drilling and the fracturing technology? Because that's always been a consideration. You have that in places like Western Pennsylvania, even in New York State. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I look at it both from the perspective of our shareholders, if you will, or the people that we have to make sure that we take care of are the landowners. You can't get your landowners mad at you, so why are you going to do something that doesn't make sense? But I mean, from a technical perspective, you frack because the formations are tight. The formations are tight because they're deep. So, you're fracking at a deep depth, and if you do it right, the technology is there to do it right. And I can't speak to, operations practices from other companies or how other people do their fracking. If we're going to frack at 20,000 feet, water tables are at 300 to 800 feet. You can't get a frack up that high. You do it right. You use the right technology, and you do your homework. Fracturing should be pretty safe. All right, we're going to have to leave it there, but I want to thank you very much, Nicholas Atencio, the Chief Executive of Mainland Resources, giving us a real ground's eye view of what's going on in Mississippi now, a new play in the idea of fracturing technology and extracting natural gas from those shale plays. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, coming